Good morning, all of you. Buenos días a todos. Thank you very much. I'm going to make it brief because we need to listen to our wonderful candidates. We will look forward to listen to that. Happy International Women's Day. Well, now I'm the president again. But with all your support, all your help, all your knowledge, we can keep the boat afloat. We need to continue working hard for LCS. It's a wonderful organization. It's one of the biggest organizations in Latin America. And I have to tell you that I work very close with the mayor. He has been interviewed several times, and he puts LCS up high. So that means he puts LCS up high and all the expats. So please, please help me to maintain this place floating. Please touch your hearts and do not think in the ego. Think in the organization that we need to continue keeping this wonderful organization to be number one. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Well, it's great to see so many here. Every year, Open Circle, we have an AGM. And Open Circle has always put on a special presentation where you can get to know the candidates running. This is just an opportunity for you to better know the candidates. Your vote counts. It's nice to have an informed vote. We only have one candidate for secretary, and so Greg, thank you very much. So Greg is going to talk first, and then we'll get to the candidates for board members at large. We have 2 minutes for everyone, and we have a timekeeper here, so keep an eye on him.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Greg Custer. I've been a proud resident of Ajijic since 2015, and I'm now a permanent resident. My professional life has been devoted to travel, tourism, and adult education, fields that teach us how to connect people, build understanding, and create lasting experiences. I joined the LCS board in 2021, and this is my first campaign at an officer position. Over the past few years, I've witnessed firsthand the leadership challenges that have brought LCS to this critical crossroad. In just 1 year, we have had 5 board members step down, and most recently, we accepted the resignation of our executive director. These changes have taken a toll, but they also create an opening and an opportunity. Today's event and next week's annual general meeting give us the chance to shape a new direction for LCS, one grounded in 3 essential principles: transparency, accountability, and good governance. First, transparency. Too often, LCS business has been conducted behind closed doors, leaving members unsure of how decisions are made within this very complex organization, an organization that proudly runs more than 100 different programs. As an officer, I will make it a priority to ensure that the board works in open, it's inclusive, and easily understood by members. Second, accountability through a system of real checks and balances. There has been progress made by clarifying staff roles and responsibilities, but there's still more to do. We must make certain that departments, volunteers, and programs work in unison, never at cross purposes, and that no one operates with unchecked autonomy. Third, good governance. Our current board structure, with over a dozen committees, is simply not working effectively. Committees often duplicate efforts or blur the lines between daily operation and strategic oversight. We need a clear division between governance and management, guided by a thoughtful strategic plan rather than a reactive mindset. And we hire our next director. That individual deserves both our trust and authority to manage day-to-day operations. Finally, there's one more area that we need to handle that's been overlooked, and that is diversity.
Okay, our first candidate for Director at Large, we have Steve Balfour.
Like many of you, I came here today to listen, observe, and learn from the perspectives of others who care deeply about the Lake Chapala Society. Serving on a board should not be about personalities or politics. There is plenty of room for everyone to be involved. Being on the board is about bringing the right mix of skills and commitment to help an organization succeed. I've tried to contribute in the way I know best, as a builder and as a fundraiser. During COVID, I was part of a team that helped guide LCS through one of the most difficult periods of our history. Since then, we've continued on building the cafe, improving this plaza, which many of you will remember was a safety hazard here, the restrooms, and improvements in walkways, the libraries, and various facilities on campus. These efforts were never the work of one person. They were the work of teams, volunteers, many of who are here today, staff, and supporters, all pulling together in the same direction. For me, volunteering in this community has always been a labor of love. Most days start very early morning and end very late at night, but not because anyone asked, but because I believe deeply in what this organization represents for both the Mexican and the expat communities. This year marks 10 years of being involved with LCS. Not on the sidelines, but in the arena. Collaborating to make things better wherever we can. If I am fortunate enough to continue serving on the board, my focus will remain on the same key things I've always focused on. Strong governance and responsible stewardship. Whatever differences of opinion may exist today, I believe we will all share the same goal, that the Lake Chapala Society remains a place that connects people and strengthens this community. None of us owns the Lake Chapala Society. We are simply stewards for the next generation to come. I would truly value your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Now I have to remember how to pronounce her name. Now, next candidate is Robin Brenizer.
Just think Budweiser. Okay. First, thank you for considering me for your board. I'm truly very honored to be considered. My background is in corporate training, strategic planning, systems thinking, organizational development, and consulting. About 25 years ago, I founded a corporate training and consulting company with my best friend. And we served, I served as its managing partner for 15 years. Before semi-retiring to build a local company with my husband, which was a commercial building inspection. So I can look around here. Anyway, the consulting company itself continued operating successfully for 25 years. Over the years, our women-owned business worked with organizations such as Dell, KPMG, AmerisourceBergen, HCA, some very large companies. In fact, for several years, we were Dell's largest vendor for training, development, and delivery. So I come here with some deep organizational development skills I hope to apply. One of the things I've learned about working with people is that ethics truly matters. Communication matters, how we speak to each other, our respect that we show for each other in the community. Some of my nonprofit work includes serving on the board of the American Diabetes Association and chairing fundraising events like bachelor auctions and celebrity waiters luncheons, things like that. Recently, I coordinated an event here in Lakeside called the Fashion Shop for the School for Special Children. That was a blast, and it was very successful. Would anybody here attend that? Yay, okay, good. Right. So 2 years ago, we came here. I'd never been to Lakeside before. We bought a house in 10 days. Some of you may have done that yourselves. Right? Okay, so it's just that kind of place. You fall in love with it immediately. But one of the deciding factors was the Lake Chapala Society. When we walked in here, not only was it beautiful, but it was a place to welcome people like us that had never lived in a foreign country, and to help us integrate into the Mexican community, because for us that was very important, that we have that kind of connection to this community. All right, so thank you for considering me. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to earn your vote. Thank you.
Now, 2 minutes doesn't sound very long, and it isn't. But you will get a chance to talk at the AGM. So, with that in mind, let's bring out our next candidate, Renee Saunders.
Well, good morning, everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience, and I certainly look forward to getting to meet those of you I have not yet. My husband and I moved here a little under a year ago, so we do live here full time. We bought a house, spent 4 lovely months having it updated and getting integrated into the community. One of the first things I did was, definitely start volunteering. When we were visiting and we spent a month here, I and my husband joined the Lake Chapala Society because of all the wonderful benefits that it had to offer, and we asked so many questions. So my goal when I got here was to give back what I had received, and it has been tenfold. I volunteer here a lot. In fact, some of you secretly suspect that I live here. I will neither deny nor confirm that. But I do volunteer at the welcome table. I also oversee the scheduling there. I volunteer at Arte y Mas, which if you haven't seen our beautiful new art and gift shop, please stop by. We have a wonderful collection of local Mexican artists, as well as we support the children's art program here, so if you ever need a card or anything, please stop by. I also sometimes help lead an exercise class if they need somebody to fill in. So the reason I'm stepping in here and applying for this position is because I strongly believe in the Lake Chapala Society and the impact that thoughtful leadership can have on its future. A strong board provides guidance, accountability, and vision. It helps ensure that decisions made today create positive and lasting outcomes tomorrow. I do bring with me, in my past life, 20 years of retail management experience, as well as 19 years in elementary education. So those will help me. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you so much, Renee. Next up, we have Ricardo Razo.
Buenos días. My name is Ricardo Razo. I appreciate that you considered me as a part of the board. I work with the local government as a liaison with the expats. We have a new office downtown in Chapala to attend the expats. The mayor is, as Yoli mentioned, very important for him, the expats community. That's why I'm here. I was born here, I grew up here, and I think it's important to consider a Mexican inside of the board because of the connections that we know, the experience that we had. I'm working with all the different expats organizations, and you can find me here every Friday from 10:30 to 12:30 at the Blue Area, just to listen what kind of problems do you have. I was working for, I'm on this position for the last 2 years until now. And I worked for the last, before that 2 years, for 20 years at Multiba Bank as a financial advisor. So I think I can help with that and help with all the benefit organizations on that. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Right on, fine. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Terry Daniels.
And thank you for the opportunity to be considered for the board position with Lake Chapala Society. I've been a part of the community for the past 7 years, and during that time, I've truly come to appreciate everything that LCS has to offer to the whole community. The organization's mission of bringing people together through education, culture, and entertainment is something I value deeply, and it's one of the reasons why I'm interested in serving. My professional career was 30 years with Chautauqua County Government in New York, where I worked in human resources and accounting and as the Employee Assistance Program Coordinator for approximately 1,400 employees. In that role, I was involved in many proactive initiatives that focused on the health and wellness of our workforce and the broader community. The experience taught me how important collaborations through thoughtful planning and good communication are when working in diverse groups of people. A philosophy that's always guided my work is from Stephen Covey, and he says, begin with the end in mind. And I felt that was really important and a good guidance, as well as seek first to understand and then to be understood. I believe in listening is one of the most important skills any leader can have, and when people feel heard, stronger ideas and better solutions emerge. Throughout my career, I was fortunate to work on many teams and projects that required cooperation, trust, and shared goals. Early in my career, a department leader once told me, it was a job interview, and it has always stayed with me. He says, I don't care how many degrees you have on your wall, what I really care about is, are you a team player? So he hired me, I was a team player, and we led on to be one of the biggest, most successful departments in the county. So I've carried that with me, the true value of teamwork, throughout my career, my personal life, and today. I believe great things could be accomplished when people work together with a shared vision. From what I've seen, this team of board applicants has that spirit of collaboration and community. I'd be honored to contribute my experiences. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you, Terry. Next up, we have Jack Knudsen.
Oh, hi, I'm Jack Knudsen. I am on the board. I've been on the board since last April. I was elected by the board to fill a term. So I'm running again this year for a 2-year term. I began volunteering at LCS in 2020 and quickly became the manager of what we then called the docents. A few years later, I was asked to take over the service office and the info desk, which I do. I manage it kind of above, but really Renee and Melody really do the heavy lifting on those two things, so busy. As a board member, I chair the Volunteer and Customer Service Committee. Our committee now is working on a training and orientation class for all volunteers, including the ones that have been around for a long time, think they know everything. We know that they don't, so just they have some basic information. Some of the things that we'll be doing during that class are learning how to deal with medical emergencies, how to de-escalate aggressive behavior. We want them to be aware of our governance structure here. We want them to just know about LCS campus in general. We know that there are people who volunteer in the back who don't even know we have a library up front, so those things need to be done. We want to familiarize them with Wilkes and vice versa. We want Wilkes to become more familiar with the campus here. And maybe one of the most important things is we want them to be aware of our humanitarian outreach. We have a program called Reaching Out. We have Emergency Safety Net that was called Post Life, but that was a little too depressing for people. We teach ESL, and we have scholarships for a lot of students that are deserving. We put a number of people through school, helping them. I organized a training.
We've got to get rules with Jack. We've got to get rules with Equal time for all. Thank you, Jack. Next up, we have Betty Clark.
Can you hear me here? Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Betty Clark. I've been a volunteer here for over what's that?
Louder. There's feedback.
Sorry. This
She's out of time now.
closer. Is this it?
Can't hear you.
Okay. Here you go. We'll give you your full 2 minutes. Don't worry. Yeah. And straight. Yeah.
You need to have it on.
Yeah, closer to you. Turn it on. It's on. It's on. We just let her. We just need to. Okay.
Okay, we're starting this over again.
Yes, time starts now.
My name is Betty Clark. I've been Lakeside about 6 years. I've been an active volunteer for 2.5 years. I started out at the information desk and I worked there on Wednesdays. And then I moved up and I started helping with events, and I've worked almost every event LCS has had in the past 2.5 years. I worked at the Children's Art Camp with my friend Melody Peterson. We did monster art dolls the first year, and it was the largest sale of all the crafts. And LCS had that whole year. We were like the #1 seller. I've helped out with Halloween stuff where I made 320 cake pops, and if you've never done that, please come to my house. I will show you how it's done. If I take on a project, I commit to it and I try to get it done. Currently, I also am working as the volunteer recruitment coordinator, and I took that position in late August, and I've placed over 40 volunteers since that time. I am committed to LCS, and I'm committed to see it grow. And one of the ways we grow it is through volunteers. Everybody here, except for the 10 or 12 paid staff, are volunteers, and we like to see what's going on. But the other thing is that we also want to know, I want to know who my representatives are on the board. If I vote for someone, if I put my money into someplace, I want to know who it is. If you don't know who your rep is, and your friends don't know who their representatives are, and you're paying money into an organization, you need to move that around to find out who it is, because that's not a transparency thing. It's a very big issue, because what are they doing with your money? Where is it going? How is it being used? Do you have a say? If you go to a board meeting, you're allowed to have 3 minutes at the end of it, but they tell you that they are not going to answer a question, they're not going to respond to a request, and they're not going to do anything, and they will just look at you. Is that what you want your board to be? I thought I want my board to be responsive. You see me out, you see me in the public, you see me around all the time. So if you vote for me, you will know who your representative is. Thank you, Betty Clark, no matter how it's spelled on the ballot.
Thank you, Betty. Are we okay? Well, we'll continue with the handheld. So, thank you, Betty. And next up, we have Mark Vogelquist. I think it's working, or you can take the handheld if you want.
Testing.
Yeah,
Good morning. My name is Mark Vogelquist. When a friend of mine suggested that I might try to run for the board here, I said, well, I'm going to look at the Constitution. What is LCS all about? Yay. The first 3 objectives: to facilitate the integration of expats into the Lakeside community. Number 2, to foster interchange between expats and Mexicans. Number 3, to contribute to the enrichment of the Mexican community through relevant programs and services. Well, I agree with all of these objectives, and my background is that I spent a summer in Guadalajara, 1961. I was 13 years old. I fell in love with Mexican culture. I went on to UCLA and wrote my thesis on mariachi music. It was the first academic work in the history, on that subject, the national music of Mexico. And then I went on to perform mariachi music, and I taught it in public schools in Washington State and finally in San Diego. When I was in San Diego, I brought my group, my ensemble of students from Chula Vista High School to the Encuentro Internacional del Mariachi in Guadalajara, which is the largest festival in the world for mariachis. I brought them 14 times. When the festival started to lose sight of its objectives, I said, well, I want to bring my students somewhere to Mexico. And I'd been coming to Ajijic for 20 years. And I said, well, I'm going to do something in Ajijic. And I called Terry Vidal, who was executive director of LCS at that time. And we set up a festival here. We had 2 concerts, brought my musicians down. They paid their own ways. We brought a group from Guadalajara, anyway, I would like to see something like that here. Music here.
What's
like
your
the art
name?
program.
we're worse than the Oscars, aren't we? The music starts. Next up, we have Joan and the Linda. Did I pronounce it correctly? No. Rhymes with Budweiser.
Internet. I'm Joan.
Microphone.
Sorry about that. I'm Joan Lindauer. My husband is Andy. So that's the website. We moved to Ajijic
5+ years ago because of the climate. We've stayed because of the weather and the people who are so warm, so welcoming, and so non-judgmental. One of the problems I've had volunteering at LCS, and I have volunteered in various capacities, is that there's a lack of communication. There's also a lack of diversity. One of the things that our mission statement says, or what the mission statement actually says for Lake Chapala Society, is to foster, to connect, and to serve the diverse population of Lakeside. We don't represent Lakeside. This entire community represents Lakeside. And they're not represented who need to be. We need to follow our bylaws. I don't see that happening right now. And I won't get into details on that. Respect, communication, all the positive words that have flown from all of our candidates. Transparency. One of the things Greg was going to end with, and I totally agree, I have his paper, is diversity. Of our 13 board seats, we've rarely had more than 3 women at the table, though more than 60% of our membership is female. Wow. The imbalance limits our perspectives and weakens our representation. This election and this slate of candidates is our chance to correct that and make LCS positive. Thank you. My name is Joan Lindauer.
Thank you, Joan. Next up we have Alison Watts. No, it's not your name, is it? No, okay. Alison Watts Palmer.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, nice object in my face. Happy International Women's Day. To be quite honest with you, I'm not supposed to be standing here. I tried for weeks to get people to be involved, to run for this board, to take these much-needed seats, and to lead. I had a dear friend tell me Monday night at dinner, if you're going to ask us to run and do this work, but you're not willing to do it, that's just not fair. So I woke up Tuesday morning, and from the shower, I was able to contact 4 of the 6 women behind me, and I asked them if I went, would you come? And they said yes. So we stand here today to take the he out of the Lake Chapala Society. Inez, when she was given her legacy plaque, it literally said, he served us so well. Well, Inez is a she, and she deserves to be represented. Yoli, I want you to know that we'll be your buoy in this turbulent waters that we need to clean and fix and clear. We have made mistakes as a group. We need to rectify those mistakes, and I've named those people publicly that we have offended and we have demoralized. We need to repair the bridges. It's our job to connect ourselves full and wholeheartedly above board with transparency and accountability. And if we don't do it, we have absolutely failed. We now know better, now we must do better. Be the change. You must join this association, whether you like it or not today, and have the opportunity to vote on Tuesday, March 17th, where the first time in history we'll be voting at the top of the hour, instead of allowing all of the people that have served us, which I want to thank them for the incredible employee and staff that we have here. That is when we are supposed to be represented, and we don't feel like that's what's happening. So please, have your voice be heard. Stand with us. We want to make Lake Chapala Society the best it could possibly be, and we believe the best years are yet to come. Thank you.
And finally, if anyone has any cards, if you can collect them now, we will be collecting them. We'll have one more opportunity after Louise speaks, but I'd like to present Louise Jimenez.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks for your time and for letting me be part of this magnificent process. And for all the candidates, good luck. My name is Luis Jimenez, and probably somebody here know me but my time as a principal in the Technological Institute of Chapala by 4 years and a half. In that time, I had the chance to work closely with Like Chapala Society and many associations in the Ribera, as local governments in Chapala, Jocotepec, and Ixtlahuacan. With Like Chapala Society, I had the chance to celebrate many events, at dinners, for example, with the young students of gastronomy, sometimes in the technological institution, and sometimes in here, in the same place to we are right now. And doing a lot of events, at conference, events to promote the culture, conference, concerts, and a lot of events to scholarships and fundraising to benefit for the institution and for the whole society in the Ribera. For example, improve in space and many other things in that locations. Speaking about my personal formation, I have a degree in government administration and politics, a master's degree in political science, and a PhD in seniors management and business. And I want to say thank you again for letting me be part of this. I have a lot of respect for Like Chapala do it in this, in the society of the Ribera. And if you give me the chance, I'm working closely with you, with many other associations have in the past, with, for example, the Rotary clubs, the institutions to life protection, and something that's really important to me is the protection for the animals. But I'm really person interested in that. Well, I don't have any more to say. Thank you, and everyone, good luck.
Thank you, Luis, and thank you to all our candidates. Excellent. Thank you for letting us know a little bit about who you are. Okay. Now, this is a question for someone. It wasn't directed at anyone, so we will... Have you commandeered my basket? Okay, we'll pick...
Set it down over there.
We will pick someone at random.
You set
We
it
will
down.
pick someone at random. Or does anyone want to volunteer? This question is, what do you want to see for the future of LCS? Anyone want to pick that up? Anyone? All right, now listen.
Well, first of all, it'd be really nice if we knew what the heck was going on, right? I mean, seriously, we have 13 spots that we're allowed to fill on this board. We have 4 board members that are going to be carried over in the odd and even system. That is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. We would like to see all those seats filled. With the amount of resignations and dropouts for medical and stuff, we need to, like, pack the board. Why wouldn't we? So I want to see us fully represented for the future.
I don't know whether... Anybody want to ask a question? What do you want to see for the future of LCS? What's your vision? Anyone have a vision of... Robin, you don't look like you were ready. Your vision.
The thing I love about this place so much is, first thing I experienced was the concerts in the park. Those were wonderful. The music that was brought here, I love the idea of the mariachi. I thought that was fantastic. They have bringing that into this place. And more Mexican culture, more Mexican people would be my preference in the future, that they're represented on this board as well. We have some fantastic candidates on this board. So yes, that, and just communication with all of you. I mean, grievances to me are just insights. They're not to be feared. They're to be listened to and then acted on. So I'd like to do that in a reasonable, calm way. Anyway, that's my vision. It's just more collaboration, less strife.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll deal with that one. The next one, I'm sorry. The next one, again, it is, we do have the, oh, you pulled it?
What is it?
We trust you. This is who's going to answer. Okay. What would you do to create bridges with the community? And Terry, your name has been pulled out of the hat.
Luis.
What would you do to create bridges with the community?
Bridges with the community. I guess the first step would be communication to see what the needs are and address it and move forward from there. I mean, you need to hear and find out what the needs are before you could do the bridges, in my opinion.
All right, thank you. There were some questions about how do we increase diversity at LCS. Now, it's great to see there's 11 board members and 6 are women, so that's a positive sign. Only 2 Mexicans, but, you know, we're getting there. Anybody want to answer the question, how can we increase diversity on the LCS governance? Okay, Mark.
Well, I think one of the most significant and important programs here is the Children's Art School. And the Children's Art School brings in Mexican kids to study art, and their parents come in and they walk across the campus and they see, that's one time I see Mexicans here. When the kids, I would like to have a music program here. I would also like to see, for example, an open circle. There are scholars in Guadalajara that could give presentations on Mexican culture, Mexican history, archaeology, all kinds of things of great interest. I think we need to do more of that. But with Mexican presenters, they can speak. You know, there's so many of these people that are way up in the world of knowledge that are bilingual. So I don't think the language thing has to be a barrier. But I would like to see that.
Okay, thank you, Mark. This next question, again, is not aimed at anyone in particular, so if anyone's got a burning desire to answer it, please step forward. Otherwise, we will pick a name out of the hat. The question is, if LCS receives a large donation, what would you do with the money? Okay. Okay, great.
Open circle.
Well, just so to clarify something, LCS is in very solid shape financially right now. We have 0 debt. We have a balance sheet of about 34 million pesos thanks to the real estate assets that we own. And we have endowment funds of around 7 million pesos left by LCS members and others who, in their estates, gave funds. So what I think we need to do is first take care of this physical space, not only here, but also at Wilkes, our second campus. And secondly, we currently have a scholarship program that's supporting kids with their university education. There are only about 40 kids in that program. So we have some capacity constraints in terms of managing those cases, but that can be solved with personnel additions. And we also need to increase the amount of money each year that we are giving to Mexican children from this community with their university education. So those would be my 2 things. Thank you.
Now, the next question is, what do you believe is LCS's role in serving the Mexican community? And I'm looking at our 2 Mexican candidates here. You want to? Okay, Luis. Yes, what do you believe is LCS's role in serving the Mexican community?
I think the Like Chapala Society do a lot for the Mexican community, but can do more. Because so many people in Like Chapala Society have a lot of experience. When I have the chance to talk with people in here, I know that you are people who don't work anymore, but you have a lot of experience in many areas, in business, in culture, in economy, in politics, that in education, and that is something that you can do. If we can share with the world the experience that you have, we can do a lot for the Mexican community. We have a lot of things in common. I know that we have many differences in many things, but we have something common, and it's we have a better society in the place that we live, and that is something important for Like Chapala Society. Share the experience and share that you know. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Luis. Okay. All right. This next question is again not directed at anyone. And the question is, do you think LCS needs to do fundraising? And if so, how would you do it? Do we have... Robert, have you answered one? I'm going to give everyone a chance. You want? Well, it's up to Steve rather than... You want to do it? Okay, Steve? All right. Do you think... The question is, do you think LCS needs to do fundraising? And if so, how would you do it?
All right, so fundraising is an important part of any nonprofit. Any business can operate and cannot operate without funds coming in. Our membership dues alone, really, if you look in the details, really covers our housekeepers, our gardeners, our finance staff, and that's about it. So fundraising is an imperative part of it, and that's what we focus on. During COVID, 2 occasions during COVID, we had weekly board meetings, and Tim Boardman, who was our treasurer, told us twice we were within 3 months of closing down forever, having to sell the property, because we just didn't have the funds to continue on. There's certain things by law you have to do to close out. And so fundraising is an important part of every nonprofit. It really engages people. And the big thing is, we're a grassroots organization. Grassroots organizations are all about relationships. It's not about the big $25,000, $50,000 donors. It's about every peso that's given and working collaboratively with those people, with every donor. And that's really important, and I respect that in donors, and that's why stewardship was one of the things I mentioned. So we definitely have to fundraise, we need to move forward, and it's a part of it.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. And this one is actually directed to someone. Ricardo, you're on the hot seat. You and Yolanda Martinez work for the Chapala government. Tell us why you think it is good for government officials to be in leadership at LCS. Okay? Now, I'll leave you the question.
As you know, Yolanda is part of the municipal government too, myself too. As I mentioned to you, it's very important for the local government, the expat community, because if you see our municipal economy, especially in Ajijic, is based on the expats community. LCS is the biggest organization of expats in Lakeside, and for the local government is very, very important the constant communication about what's happening, how you feel, what's going on here. That's why I'm here this morning, and find out together solutions, and find out how can we help, so you can help to the Mexican community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. Souvenir. I'm going to post these on the website, so I better have them like that. Okay, this one isn't directed to anyone in particular, but this question is, what are your plans to increase membership? Anyone who hasn't spoken would like to give this one a shot? I see, yes. I see Joan, without Andy. So what are your plans to increase membership?
Membership is based in many ways on our advertising.
A little closer, yeah.
Okay. Membership is based right now on word of mouth and on written words. We see a little bit about Lake Chapala Society in every paper we pick up, whether it's a magazine or anything local. Lake Chapala Society is going to be in there. I really think we need to be doing outreach programs in other communities along the lake. I don't think it should be just Ajijic. I think we need to be looking at San Antonio and Riberas de Pilar and San Juan Cosola. Those people still are part of Lake Chapala. And that, I think, is where we need to be, is reaching out to people as individuals as well as a group.
Good. Thank you, John. This one was directed to Greg. Should members be encouraged to attend board meetings to be more aware of how the business of LCS is conducted?
Yes, absolutely. You should be encouraged to attend board meetings. Someone commented earlier that there was a place for comments at each board meeting. That is true. But it is intended at present to be a one-way. You can stand up and speak, but the board is not responding to those comments unless it decides after the fact to come back with an answer. That is not encouraging dialogue. And I do salute our past president, Hunter Johnson, who has for the last year been sitting in the blue patio for 2 hours, at least one day a week, to sit and listen to comments. So I encourage whoever our next leadership team becomes to be more visible, to be here working as volunteers, to sit and take shifts along with the other volunteers, and that the board meeting should contain a controlled, moderated section for member comments that you can engage with us actively, and we don't sit there on our hands and say nothing in response to your comments. So, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Well, the next question is, again, it's an open question. I hope this is true. Do you believe in collaboration? And if so, how would you incorporate it on the board? Anybody want to address? So do you believe in collaboration? And if so, how would you incorporate it on the board?
I do believe in collaboration. I think that when we all work together, we get a lot more things accomplished. Collaboration can be as easy as one Amigo team with another Amigo team. One of the things that came to mind when I was sitting up here is how have we actually collaborated with the Wilkes Center? How have we actually incorporated them into what we do here? How come we don't have events over at the Wilkes Center and bring more people over there? And then from over there, bringing the people there here and having an intermix where we are all together. So that's one of the collaborations that would be very important to me. But the other collaborations are in the community and along with our local residents. And I would like to see that we have more of an open invite to our local residents, especially the ones within 2 or 3 blocks of us. They hear our music at the concerts, they hear other things that go on here, and yet they stay home and they're not here. And so that's one of the collaboration things that I look at, but mostly about the Wilkes Center and doing events there as well. Thank you.
Now this is a question for all the non-board members. So we're going to be excluding 3 of us here. And the question was, please give a show of hands, everyone who has been or is an LCS volunteer. Okay? And a show of hands for everyone who has attended 2 or more board meetings in the past year. Okay, thank you. That was that question. So thank you. That helps. It helps us to know who we are. Okay, we've had. Well, this is a general question. I think it's an important one. What is your plan to return LCS to Neil James' original focus, the philosophy of empowering locals and especially children? Anyone who hasn't spoke want to speak on this? Renee?
All right.
Well volunteered, Renee.
All right. Would you repeat the question, please?
Yes, it's what is your plan to return LCS to Neil James' original focus, the philosophy of empowering locals and especially children?
Well, that does speak to the teacher heart in me because I was a former elementary school teacher. And so I have honestly enjoyed watching the art program back here. It does need to be built up. There is nobody currently to oversee it. And I'd like to bring in the local Mexican artists, and even a lot of you in the audience are probably artists, or you may have been even a former art teacher, to help out and build up that program. bringing in those parents that come with them, that empowers the parents too. You know, that lets them be a part of their children's lives. And so being able to bring in the adults along with their children and having that sense of pride watching their children grow, you know, any of us that have had kids or, you know, grandkids, we love seeing those children grow. And so it is about bringing the outside in.
Thank you very much. We are now at 10 to 12. Please come to the AGM. Please participate. Please be involved. I want to give again a big round of applause to our candidates on this morning.